Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Sarah Hamilton and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The Israeli-US war in Iran has started its fourth week. The Pentagon announced that it's targeting mine-laying vessels used by Iran to keep a stranglehold over the Strait of Hormuz. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said that the U.S. had destroyed 44 mine-laying Iranian vessels placed to stop shipping flow through the Strait of Hormuz, which serves as a vital waterway for trade along the Persian Gulf. Kane confirmed that Air Force A-10 Warthog attack jets were in the fight and capable of hunting fast boats deployed by Iran to mine the strait. The response is in reaction to oil spiking to more than $119 per barrel last week, after Iran attacked energy facilities in the Middle East in retaliation to Israel's strike on its South Pars gas field. The average price for regular gas is reportedly now at $3.88 a gallon, according to the American Automobile Association. In a related story, gas prices are expected to keep climbing no matter what happens in the Middle East. With the attacks on oil infrastructure, experts say it could take a long time before gas prices come down. Mark Shieldrop of AAA Northeast said there's been significant disruption, not just cargo ships through the Strait of Hormuz, but we've seen attacks on oil and gas infrastructure, and some estimates are that it's going to take more than a year or up to 5 years for everything to be back to how it was before the war. The war in the Middle East could have long-term implications as we head toward the summer driving season. In June of 2020, gas in Massachusetts peaked at $5.04 per gallon. With no end in sight to the Iran war, officials said we could surpass that number. Pressure is growing on Congress to end the government funding shutdown, which is now causing travel disruptions and financial strain for federal workers. Lawmakers are expected to vote on a Republican proposal to fund TSA and parts of the Department of Homeland Security, but it is expected to fail. The stalemate centers around disagreements over immigration enforcement policies. Meanwhile, TSA officers have gone without pay for more than 40 days. Officials warn staffing shortages could force airport closures if conditions continue. The TSA says call-out rates are rising and hundreds of officers have already quit during the shutdown. Officials also report a sharp increase in assaults against TSA workers. The legal battle between Harvard University and the Trump administration is escalating. The Justice Department has filed a federal lawsuit accusing Harvard of violating civil rights law by failing to protect Jewish and Israeli students after the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack. The suit claims the university allowed a hostile environment on campus and failed to address discriminatory harassment. The administration is also seeking to recover billions of dollars in federal funding provided to Harvard. This comes after an earlier dispute where a federal judge ruled the government improperly halted nearly $2 billion in grants to the university. Harvard says it is taking steps to address anti-Semitism on campus and plans to defend itself against the lawsuit. If you're a dog lover, this next story is for you. According to the American Kennel Club, the most popular dog breed in the country is the French Bulldog. The breed has now held the top spot for 4 years in a row with nearly 74,500 registered in 2025. Coming in second is the Labrador Retriever with about 58,500 registrations, followed by the Golden Retriever in third. One of the biggest shakeups this year is the Dachshund, which climbed to 5th place, its highest ranking since 2003. The rankings are based on annual registration data from the American Kennel Club. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
I'm Mayor Erin Joyce, and I'd like to tell you about some important projects we're working on here in Braintree to improve the quality of our local water bodies and to protect our town from the dangers of flooding and stormwater runoff. Stormwater runoff is the water generated from rain and snowmelt that flows over hard surfaces and does not soak into the ground. Stormwater runs through a system of pipes in the street and into our local water bodies, such as the Cochado River, Farm River, Manatequit River, and Sunset Lake. In Braintree, we have a separate sewer system. So what does that mean? That means that there are actually 2 separate pipes in most streets that carry stormwater and sanitary sewer separately. So when it rains and water washes into our catch basin system, it ties into the stormwater system, which transports water to our water bodies. Over the past 5 years, the town of Braintree has been working hard to maintain and improve our stormwater drainage systems. Now, we're constructing retrofits to the drainage system. These drainage retrofits use the natural process of infiltration to improve water quality and reduce potential flooding in our neighborhoods. At Penniman Park Elder Affairs, we're constructing a bioretention basin behind the building. What that is right before the water, which today runs piped to the Manatequit River. This project intercepts that pipe before it goes and discharges into the river. And it creates a place for the water to go first, which is the bioretention basin. And in that basin, plants and engineered soils will filter the water so that that water that's coming off of the neighborhood right now, unfiltered, untreated, will be collected into a rain garden, and that provides a lot of pollution control before the water ultimately makes it to the Manatequit River.
I'm Rachel Horak. I live here in Braintree, and I'm the president of Sustainable Braintree. We think of ways that we can help our residents of Braintree live healthier lives that are in better harmony with our planet. And we want to be sure that our waterways are clean so that our residents can enjoy them both for recreation and for beauty purposes. The bioretention basin will filter out the bad bacteria out of the stormwater before it hits the Manatequit River. We add native plants that help filter out the pollutants so that the water is a little bit cleaner. Some of the ways that residents can help are reduce the amount of fertilizers that you use on your lawn, picking up pet waste, reducing the amount of garbage in our streets, and also raking the catch basins that you might see on the roadways.
To pay for these projects, we're leveraging grants from the Mass DEP, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, and the Metropolitan Area Planning Council. As a Braintree resident, you should know that the town is actively working on projects that help improve the water quality in our water bodies. With your help and these projects, we will help filter pollution and keep Braintree's rivers, lakes, and streams beautiful for years to come.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Sarah Hamilton. Now we'll be getting into more stories. On Monday, March 23rd, the Braintree School Committee held their bi-monthly meeting. Superintendent Tim McDonald was pleased to announce that Mr. Nick Fitzgerald has been appointed as the next principal of Braintree High School, effective July of 2026. Here's more from Superintendent McDonald and Mr. Fitzgerald.
So tonight we're very pleased to introduce formally to you all Mr. Nick Fitzgerald, who will be the next principal of Braintree High School. As you know from your packet, Mr. Fitzgerald has a BA in both history and English from College of the Holy Cross and a Master's of English and a Doctor of Education from UMass Boston. He also served many years after college in the U.S. Army and had numerous leadership roles while serving. Started out his career as a teacher at Milton High School, eventually became Dean of Students and Assistant Principal at Pierce Middle School in Milton, and most recently he is currently the Assistant Principal at Canton High School. I'd like to tell you that his references were outstanding, and he was the top choice of both the student and the faculty groups as well. We want to thank our Principal Search Committee for the work behind the scenes to help us land such a strong candidate. We're extremely excited to welcome him to Braintree. I heard Anna Flaherty say to him earlier how excited the students were to have Mr. Fitzgerald lead us for the years to come. So we welcome him to the table to share a few words and maybe answer a few questions.
Sure, thank you very much. I think I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the people that were involved in the search. It's been a really great and welcoming process for me and my family right from the beginning. You know, the first interview that kind of happened in here through the day at Braintree High School, meeting with the superintendent, walking the school with Mr. Kuther. Today, I actually met two more students. They interviewed me virtually for, I think, the Braintree Student Press. That was exciting. And all along the way, people have been so welcoming and supportive and friendly, to be honest, which has been great. And it makes me realize, first of all, how lucky I am to get the position in Braintree, which is something I've been hoping for a while, and also put some pressure on me to do a good job. I don't want to be bad at it, given the tremendous support that I've received from the Braintree community so far. So kind of ups the stakes a little bit, but that's good. That's healthy.
Also, the MWRA held a meeting at Braintree Town Hall to begin discussions to learn about a proposed regional water infrastructure project that will pass through Braintree. This project includes new water infrastructure improvements within the town and may involve construction activity along several roadways. Here's more from Ryan Algrove from the consulting firm Apex.
This project is a water supply project for the town of Weymouth and the Southfield Redevelopment Authority. And the Southfield Redevelopment Authority is the entity whose charge is to redevelop the South Weymouth Naval Air Station. So the combined projected water demand of the town of Weymouth and the South Weymouth Naval Air Station, and the Naval Air Station buys all its water from Weymouth, so sort of essentially counted as one water system, far exceeds what Weymouth's existing supplies could ever supply. So, to the tune of over, millions of gallons a day that Weymouth does not have. And that has been a sticking point to, in the redevelopment of the base for decades. So that is the genesis of this project. So how do we get, the millions of gallons per day of water that we need? The MWRA, after evaluating many alternatives that exist, the most viable and advantageous option to make this happen is to get water from the MWRA, which is, as you probably know, it's the regional Greater Boston water supply. And, I think they've stated that they have upwards of 50 million gallons per day of available supply for people who want to be admitted. So that's our source. And, unfortunately for Weymouth, the MWRA distribution system does not extend into Weymouth. The closest that it gets is Quincy. So, working with them, determining where we could connect and how we would get from that point, point A to point B, which is somewhere in Weymouth, we've developed this project. And what it comes down to is a 6.7-mile long transmission main that starts in Quincy, as Ted mentioned, in the Blue Hills Reservation, where the MWRA has transmission mains. And so that's in Quincy. We have to go through Quincy for less than 1,000 feet into Braintree, through Braintree, into South Weymouth. So the total route is 6.7 miles, and 5.6 of that is in Braintree. So obviously a huge impact to Braintree, and we're not trying to hide that fact. But as you'll see in the map coming up, it's a matter of geography that Braintree is in between what we need and where we need to get it to. The other sort of major piece of infrastructure associated with this project that doesn't impact Braintree, but it's worth mentioning, is that we do need a pump station to boost the pressure of the water up to meet Weymouth's elevation. But that pump station is going to be constructed in Weymouth on the same site as the existing Great Pond Water Treatment Plant. So all the infrastructure in Braintree is below grade piping. There's no vertical construction or building being constructed in Braintree as part of this project. And the last thing I'll note about the overall project is that we see this as a regional impact. A lot of the towns on the South Shore, or a lot, if not all, have water supply issues where they're running up against their Water Management Act permits, sensitive ecological areas where the Mass DEP makes it very difficult for them to extract any more water out of their groundwater wells or from their surface water supplies. So bringing in an MWRA pipeline anywhere in the region, just by way of having a plan B or a redundancy, it impacts the entire region. And I include Braintree in that because, as you probably know, Braintree's just about finished building a giant water treatment plant, but bringing the MWRA water through, it offers a way to have redundancy to that plant. When I think this is the only way you would ever get redundancy to the level of a water system as big as Braintree's. So it does have regional impact, and that extends south of Weymouth as well. Like I said, it is mostly through Braintree, so it's generally a straight line from the connection point in the Blue Hills, and it extends on Granite Street, under 93 to Five Corners, then crossing Five Corners to Franklin Street, and then Franklin Street turns into Washington, crosses Hancock, where the MBTA Railroad is, and the Manattaquit River, and then it turns onto Plain Street and Grove Street, to the Weymouth town line. So, the northern half is essentially Route 37. And the pipeline, as I'm showing here, that you can see, there's another mile or so after it gets to the Weymouth town line, getting to the pump station at Great Pond in Weymouth. And it's a 36-inch transmission main, so it is a large diameter pipe.
To watch the Braintree School Committee meeting and the MWRA Water Supply Project meeting, tune into BCAM TV Government Channel, Channel 8 on Comcast, and Channel 26 on Verizon, and check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/BCAMTV. A local animal rescue is inviting the community to help support cats in need. The Neponset Valley Humane Society will host its annual Cat-Tillion fundraiser on Friday, April 11th in Braintree. The dinner and dance event raises money to help care for rescued cats throughout the Neponset Valley. The organization operates without a physical shelter, relying instead on volunteer foster homes to care for animals until they are adopted. Organizers say the fundraiser helps cover medical care, food, and supplies for cats waiting for permanent homes. The event will take place at the Sons of Italy Lodge and will include dinner, live music from the Reminiscence, raffles, and other activities. Tickets and more information are available on the Neponset Valley Humane Society website. Braintree could play a role in a new plan to make travel through Logan Airport easier. Officials are exploring the idea of remote terminals where passengers could check in, drop off bags, and go through security before arriving at the airport. According to the Boston Business Journal, Braintree may become one of those sites. The Massport Board has approved a $150 million project to build a new parking garage at the Logan Express location near South Shore Plaza. Plans for that garage include space for a possible remote terminal. Massport is already testing a similar concept at its Framingham location. The goal is to reduce traffic and shorten lines at Logan Airport. The Braintree Retirement Board will hold a public hearing later this month. The hearing is scheduled for Thursday, April 23rd at 4:15 p.m. It will take place at 74 Pond Street on the second floor. Officials will discuss a possible cost of living adjustment, also known as a COLA, for eligible Braintree Retirement System pension recipients. If approved, the adjustment would take effect July 1st, 2026. The public is welcome to attend. The meeting will be held in person with a remote option available through Zoom. A longtime staple in Weymouth Landing and a local favorite for tasty margaritas and authentic Mexican cuisine will close its doors for good in early April. The Adam family, which owns El Serape, located at 5 Commercial Street in Braintree, announced this week that it will close the restaurant for good on April 4th after 37 years. The restaurant posted on Facebook, quote, "We were a Braintree landmark because of our longtime customers, and we are very cognizant of everyone's ongoing support. Countless memories have been made with our family, longtime friends, and our customers at El Serape. Memories that will last a lifetime," end quote. The family said the decision was not easily made, but necessary. El Serape will be open at 11 a.m. daily until its final day on April 4th. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area, but first, here's a look at events happening this month at the Braintree Senior Center, located at 71 Cleveland Ave in Braintree. The Braintree Senior Center has a full lineup of activities and programs this March for residents aged 60 and older. From weekly social gatherings to special events and educational programs, there are plenty of opportunities for seniors in the community to stay active and connected. The center also offers a variety of weekly activities. Fitness classes are available daily. On Mondays, residents can attend bocce coffee hour at 9:30, the walking group at 10, men's coffee hour at 11, and pool players at noon. Tuesdays feature game days from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Wednesdays, the Asian Outreach Group meets at 11, followed by GEMS exercise at 1. Thursdays include quilting at 11:30, pool lessons at 12:30, and knitting at 1 p.m. And on Fridays, pool players meet at noon and movies are shown at 12:30. Several special events are also scheduled throughout the month. Upcoming events include a St. Patrick's Day celebration with an Irish band on March 13th and a chat with Senator Keenan on March 16th. The center will also host a St. Patrick's Day boiled dinner on March 17th, along with a spa day, book club meeting, and technology class on March 20th. Later in the month, residents can attend a fraud prevention presentation from South Shore Bank on March 25th, a craft class on March 30th, and the Just Lunch program and Alzheimer's support group on March 31st. For more information or to sign up for any of these programs, residents are encouraged to contact the Braintree Senior Center directly. The center is located at 71 Cleveland Avenue in Braintree and can be reached by phone at 781-848-1963. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Weymouth officials have identified the man who was shot and killed by police on Wednesday, March 18th, as 25-year-old Sean Berry of Weymouth. Police responded to a 911 call at Webb Park at about 4 p.m. Wednesday for a man with a knife who appeared to be in distress. Police reports say at some point the man lunged at an officer with the knife and the officer shot him. The Norfolk District Attorney's Office says in a written statement, the officer immediately administered first aid to the victim prior to transporting him to an area hospital in critical condition. Berry was living in North Weymouth but was a lifelong resident of Braintree. According to his obituary, he graduated from Braintree High School in 2019 and Mass Maritime Academy in 2023. The incident is being investigated by the Massachusetts State Police, assigned to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. A Quincy man discovered his fate last week after his conviction of the kidnapping and aggravated rape of a 64-year-old woman in 2022. On March 13th, Norfolk Superior Court Judge Peter Krupp sentenced Christian Lynch to 10 to 12 years in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised probation. Lynch pleaded guilty to 8 counts of aggravated rape, 1 count of kidnapping, 1 count of misleading police, 1 count of indecent assault, 4 counts of assault and battery on a person over 60, 2 counts of strangulation, and 1 count of performing an unnatural act. Lynch, who was arrested and detained in November of 2022, was credited with 1,200 days of time served. Boston police officer Nicholas O'Malley was released on personal recognizance following his arraignment on a manslaughter charge. On March 11th, O'Malley and another Boston police officer were called to a carjacking in Boston. The officers later found the reported vehicle near Linwood Square. When approaching the vehicle with their weapons drawn, the driver, Stevenson King, allegedly went into reverse and hit a Boston Police Department cruiser after disobeying orders from the officers. When shifting gears to escape, Officer O'Malley fired 3 shots at King, then claimed King had tried to run them over. After an investigation, which involved body camera video, this claim was found to be false. O'Malley's lawyer chose not to argue the facts of the case, but did suggest prosecutors might be politically motivated. The judge ordered O'Malley be released on several conditions, including surrendering his firearms. A suspect is in custody after a violent incident at the Forest Hills MBTA station in Jamaica Plain. Transit police say officers responded around 11:15 a.m. last Friday to reports of a man with a knife threatening a bus driver and passengers. Police say the suspect also attempted to damage a bus. Officers struggled with the suspect, who reached for an officer's weapon. During the struggle, a police gun was discharged, but no one was hit. The suspect was taken into custody and 2 officers were injured and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Boston EMS says 6 people in total were taken to area hospitals. The Forest Hills busway was temporarily closed following the incident. Massachusetts will receive more than $46 million in federal funding to support security for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The money comes from FEMA's World Cup Grant program and will help the state prepare to host 7 matches at Gillette Stadium. Officials say the funding is part of a $625 million federal investment across 11 U.S. host cities. Local leaders say the money will help ensure a safe experience for both residents and visitors. Last week, Foxborough officially approved an event license for the matches after months of discussions over security costs. Officials say the security zone around the stadium will reduce parking, and transportation plans are being adjusted to handle large crowds. Thank you for tuning in to Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more on entertainment. The Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition is hosting its annual Against the Tide Swim, Run, and Walk fundraiser to support breast cancer prevention. The event brings together participants of all ages to raise awareness and funds through fitness and community participation. 2 in-person events are scheduled this summer. The first will take place Saturday, June 20th at Hopkinton State Park in Hopkinton. The second event will be held Saturday, June 27th at Nickerson State Park in Brewster on Cape Cod. Participants can also choose a virtual option anytime between June 20th and June 27th. Participants can take part in a variety of activities depending on their interests and ability level. Events include a USATF certified 5 and 10 kilometer runs, a 1-mile competitive swim, half-mile and 1-mile recreational swims, and a 3-mile fitness walk. Registration for the event is open now. For more information or to sign up, visit mbcc.org/againstthetide. Welcome back to Braintree Today. First in entertainment news, Chuck Norris, the American actor and martial arts icon, has died at the age of 86. A post on Norris's official Facebook page said Norris died on March 19th. Norris's family said in a statement, he lived his life with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the people he loved. Through his work, discipline, and kindness, he inspired millions around the world and left a lasting impact on so many lives. Norris was an American icon who rose to fame through action films and his long-running role on Walker, Texas Ranger. Known for his tough guy persona, he became a larger-than-life figure in both Hollywood and pop culture. Now, here's some new movies and shows that have been creating some social buzz. First, Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, follows Tommy Shelby, who amid the chaos of World War II, returns from a self-imposed exile to face his most destructive reckoning yet. With the future of his family and country at stake, Shelby must face his demons and choose whether to confront his legacy or burn it to the ground. The film stars Cillian Murphy and Paul Anderson. You can watch Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man now on Netflix. Up next, Zeta follows Agent Zeta, who is hunting for a surviving spy from a decades-old covert operation in Colombia. Following the murder of 5 former spies, Zeta must find the final survivor before Colombian agent Alpha discovers the truth behind their shared dangerous past. The film stars Mario Casas and Mariela Garriga. You can watch Zeta now on Amazon Prime Video. Finally, The Lost Bus is based on a true story and follows a determined bus driver and a dedicated school teacher who battle to save 22 children from a deadly wildfire. The film stars Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera. You can watch The Lost Bus now on Apple TV. That'll do it for news today. Don't forget, Verizon customers can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128 and Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Sarah Hamilton, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.